Yes, your vote and everything matters. To press play for the recording. All right, good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming out to the third official Senate meeting. I'm going to call this adjournment for this Senate meeting at 6:05 p.m. A call to order. Senator Ezell, would you like to pray?
Okay, close your eyes and bow your head. Thank you, Lord, for bringing us all here safely this evening. Thank you for keeping everyone safe from the virus. Thank you for everything you've done.
Oh, that's what it is. There we go. I'm sorry.
Thank you for everything you've done, keeping us safe this week, allowing us to fulfill our requirements and in your name we pray, amen.
Amen. Eric, would you like to take quorum? You're just taking roll.
Murphy, Garrett, Kelly, Duff, Simmons, Jackson, Daniel, Swallow,
And then also Jarvis, Senator Jarvis. Yeah. And then Senator, how you say, Broussard. Those are our two freshman senators. Alrighty. So we're gonna get started with today's meeting. Can I have a motion to approve previous Senate meeting minutes? Okay, and then can I also have a motion to approve today's agenda? First on the agenda, we have presidential appointments. Can I have a motion to begin discussion for presidential appointments? All right, cool. So first on the presidential appointments, we have Kayla Howard. She is She's been presidentially appointed for freshman class justice. President Yucott, would you like to speak? Or Kayla, would you like to speak?
Hi, my name is Kalia Howard.
Oh, Kalia, I'm so sorry.
It's fine. I just want to say I'm happy to be here. I am very dedicated to this position, so I'll do everything required of me and also the things that might not be asked, but I should be doing. So,
Senators, do you have any questions for Kalia? Okay, thank you, Ms. Kalia Howard. Second on the presidential appointment list, we have Kennedy Carey Prescott. Do you guys have any questions for her? Or Kennedy, would you like to say anything?
Hi, my name is Kennedy. I'm super excited to possibly to serve as the freshman class treasurer. It's my hope that I can help keep us on track monetarily and make sure everything is carried out the way that it needs to be. I'm just excited.
Thank you, Ms. Kennedy. Senators, do you have any questions for Kennedy? Okay, moving on to the last appointee, we have Janiyah Belcher. Janiyah, are you there? Do you have anything you would like to say?
Hello, my name is
Do you have any
Janiyah
questions?
Belcher. Thank you guys so much for the opportunity, and I cannot wait to interact with you all this year.
Alrighty, President Yucott, do you have anything you would like to say about your appointees?
Yeah, so thank you, Vice President Mayweather. Yeah, we had some good applications for these open positions. We had the secretary position open, the treasurer position open, and the justice position open. Kennedy Carey Prescott actually ran for a position. She ran a solid campaign. She had grit. And so when she applied again, I was excited to see her application. And after looking over it and also hearing from classmates, I made the decision to select her for confirmation. Janiyah Belcher is also a solid applicant, as well as Kalia, and I'm sure all three of them will be a very solid addition to the freshman class council.
Thank you, President Yucott. Now we're gonna have some Senate discussion, so we will go on mute and cut the camera off. Congratulations to Kalia, Kennedy, and Janiyah. Welcome to the freshman class council. Next on the Next on the agenda, we have budgets. Before we begin budgets, I just would like to say, you guys will receive an email on whether your budgets have been approved, denied, or changed. Instead of me coming back and telling you what the senators have said, you guys will receive an email within 24 hours. So, can I have a motion to open the floor for a discussion of budgets? First on the budget agenda, we have the Michigan Club. Has everybody had time to look over their budget? Does anyone have any questions for the Michigan Club? Okay, come up here. Yes, they're on here.
Can you hear me?
They can hear you.
Oh, what is your banner for?
Amir,
Hello, yes.
yes. A senator has a
I'm sorry,
question for you.
I missed
What-
that you were talking. I heard the question though. What is our banner for?
Yeah, the purpose of it.
Yes, definitely. So the banner will be for like long-term use. But majority usually when we do homecoming, we have a homecoming day parade where all clubs and their banners are usually like asked to walk in it. So we're hoping this can be used for like years and years to come. There's a general logo that we'll have on it, and we'll make sure there's no year or anything holding it back from being used, 10, 12 years down the line until they change the logo. So that's primarily what it's for. But then also we can use the banner for when in the future we also have organizational fairs and just want to do things with our club. We also plan on trying to have a recruitment video to get more students from the Midwest, but particularly the Michigan area and the Great Lakes State to come down to see our beloved university. So we also want to use the banner within that promotional video.
Oh, and can you also explain the video? Because you kind of mentioned it, but you didn't really go into detail as far as to like what the money is going towards, like how would it be set up and how you go about executing it.
Definitely. I'm happy you asked that. We really want to make it so that it's primarily in-house when we do things with the video. So we will be using current members of the XULA Michigan Club, as well as a Michigan student that does like videography. But nowadays, students, I pride them on their hustles, but like I said, it is a hustle. So we do tend to, ask for a certain amount, and all the students we've looked into is about 3 of them that do videography. Most of their pricing for videoing the video and editing it for us was I believe about $200. I think I might have put $150 to $200 on the budget. But the video will consist, like I was saying, of XULA Michigan Club members, and it kind of just talking about some of us may mention why we decided to come to Xavier, also highlighting our beloved university. So I plan on running it through like marketing and making sure we're allowed to shoot and film like on campus. But primarily that's what it'll be, just kind of saying some of our majors, talking about some of our notable alumni and why they should choose Xavier as their university. We plan to send it out to all the high school counselors around the state of Michigan, as many as we can reach out to. And we'll also be partnering with our alumni chapter after we get the video shot and edited for them to help us distribute it to adults within the city to get it to those high school seniors.
Thank you. Does anyone else have questions? Okay. We're gonna go into our Senate discussion. Thank you, Amir.
Thank you.
All right, so next on the budgets, we're gonna move the presidential budget up just so that y'all can see the whole entire funding for everything before we move on to other budgets. Have you all had a chance to look at that? All right. Do you guys have any questions? The SGA budget, it's in in the drive. Does anyone have any questions as far as the budget for President Yuka? Yeah, it's
Okay.
on.
Hi, my question is regarding the senior class council budget. It looks like significantly lower than the other class councils. Can you explain that a little bit, please?
Yeah, no problem. Am I on the screen? Can I share my screen? Yes.
Oh, yeah, you can share the screen.
I can share it. Okay. Let me see. Fall. I think y'all have. Okay, yeah, y'all have the PDF. Okay. 1 second. Alrighty. So, Vice President Mayweather, do you? Oh, hold on. Let me see. Vice President Mayweather, do you mind if I do a quick overview as well to explain sort of how the budget process goes?
That's cool.
All right, appreciate it. So this is the fall 2020 proposed budget, and our total funded this year is $403,550, which is up tremendously. Let me pull this up as well so we have a juxtaposition. And then I'll go into your question, Madam Senator. All right, there we go. All righty, so let me keep this open as well. So within it, there are a couple of things. This top part that is above the total funded by presidential allocation, everything above here is set by the university. So these numbers are based on our enrollment, and so that's sort of how it is. So the contingency fund is taken out, UNCF, that is sort of the fee that we pay, and so it's 28,000 this year. It's actually down from, I believe, 60 something thousand last year. Lyceum is at it's a cap at 5% at $16,590.13. And then the College of Arts and Sciences, and College of Pharmacy graduate students, it's based on the numbers and also the student activity fee. So if we look at this right here, which is it's more specific, we see that there are 869 full-time freshmen and 11 part-time freshmen, for a total of 880 freshmen. However, the full-time will charge $15, which is up from $10 last year, and the part-time freshmen will charge $10, which is $5 last year. So they all received a $5 increase. Now, with that, it gave a significant boost to the senior class council, which actually would have had roughly $3,200 if they did not receive that increase. Yeah, and that's why these numbers are here, but that doesn't matter. So yeah, if they would have had about $3,200. The senior class council is always significantly less because enrollment has dropped so drastically. You can see we're going from 880 freshman year to 348. My own class, when I was a freshman, we had 869 freshmen coming in, and now we're juniors and we're at 548. So we're seeing it's because of that drop, that decrease. That's why the senior class has the lowest. Does that answer your question, ma'am?
Yes, thank you.
My pleasure. So if we continue down, you'll see the College of Pharmacy has a total of $14,535. And now what happens here is, even though it's been broken down, they're able to distribute it themselves, the PSA, for their different organizations. And now we have, after university deductions, we have some more funds. We have $331,802.50 left. Now we got to take out Lyceum and UNCF. And after all of that, then we're left with the $287,032.38 that I allocate, which is up from $159,650 last year, which is an 80% increase. Now, IOC this year is receiving $51,665, or we're requesting for them to receive $51,665.83, which is a 172% increase. Last year, they only received $19,000. Now, for mobilization at Xavier, they have many things that they're, many initiatives and many needs. And so they are requesting $17,221.94, which includes their different projects, as well as printing, transportation, their programming, COVID compliance items, the retreat, as well as office supplies and refurbishment. Max and XUB have been given office spaces in the Center for Student Involvement, and they do need something in order to make that space presentable to students to come in, for students to come in. So of that $17,000, last year they only received $4,500. So it's a 283% increase from last year, the highest increase. Now the active student organizations, out of that, they'll receive the remainder, which is $34,443.89, which is a 138% increase from $14,500 last year. So now organizations have a lot more breathing room. Now with that, this is like all the other organizations in IOC, and then mobilization at Xavier is in their own category. Mobilization at Xavier is receiving 1/3 of this amount right here. And the active student organizations are receiving 2/3. Now, last year, this bracket here, this funding bracket, was 12% of the presidential allocation budget. This year, it was set to 15, and then I ended up increasing it to 18%, which is a 6% increase overall. All right. So that's that. Now, the Xavier Activities Board is its own line item, and I think now I can come back into here. So the Xavier Activities Board is its own line item, and they're receiving another increase. Let me jump back here, from $33,000 last year to $52,236.16, which is a 56% increase to cover events and, of course, office supplies and refurbishment. Homecoming is increasing a dramatic increase. It's getting a dramatic increase from $61,445.35 last year to $100,961.33, which is a 64% increase. This is earmarking most of the money for homecoming events, but also Mr. and Miss Xavier's ball gown and tuxedo expenses to be comparable to other universities around us, but also to offset the expenses. What has usually happened is Mr. and Ms. Xavier used their stipend, which was set at $1,750 last year, and the year before. They used that to cover their ball gowns. And going off of last year's Ms. Xavier and Mr. Xavier in the year before, most of their stipend was used towards that. And so in terms of actually being able to have gas money and things, they did not have that because they spent it on a ball gown and a tuxedo. Now we're having an allowance in order to offset those expenses. The same thing would happen for the homecoming, for the Royal Court homecoming apparel, where it would be more of a grant, a subsidy of $1,000 to offset the expenses of that apparel. They still do pay, but it would just be less so that they're not burdened by that as students. Now with that, our operating budget is sitting at $82,169.06, which is an increase from $45,672.57 last year. And let me pull up one thing so you can see. I'm sure you might want to see how it was last year as well. I'll pull it up here. All right. So this was last year's fall 2019 budget. That's where I got the $159,650. IOC received roughly 12%, and operating expenses sat at this amount, and it was there. Right. So with that, I decided to get quite specific this year with how we'd be using the money. So I created a couple of categories: student body programming, executive departmental support fund, external organization support fund, office administrative budget, and then SGA staff stipend. And then, of course, the president's discretionary fund. Now, the student body programming is separated by a specific area, which is doing programming. And so the executive board is using $12,900 to cover the Welcome Back Week, the Fall Leadership Summit that we just had, fall student body meetings, beignets with SGA, which is an event we're looking at doing soon, town halls, and our fall late night breakfast. The Judicial Council would have $5,100 to cover 3 debate night watch parties, the election night watch party, the election day voting drive, and a $1,000 class donation. So we spoke about it at the student body meeting today, in which the class, the undergraduate class that has the most students registered to vote, they will receive a $1,000 donation to their budget, either this semester or the spring semester from SGA. In the presidential cabinet, we have a $750 budget for SGA Wellness Day. We also have this right here, which is the 500 is included in the 97,000. So it used to be down here, but we plopped it up here after speaking with Mr. and Ms. Xavier. We're going to partner with them in doing a diff talk during homecoming. Our executive departmental support fund. So this is a way to support the different departments in SGA. And initiatives and other things that they have going on. So executive board payroll is under here, sanitation materials for SGA, and paraphernalia. We're looking at purchasing pins for all SGA staff and members. The Royal Court would now have $3,000 to support conferences that they plan on putting on. We want it to be that Mr. and Ms. Xavier begin to utilize the Royal Court to put on their own programming as well, supported by SGA. The Student Senate would have $2,000 to cover t-shirts and anything else as at the discretion of the vice president. The election board would have $800 to cover meetings as well as anything they need at the discretion of the election board chair. And the Department of Communications would have $950 to cover apparel for the DOC coordinators, as well as visual media team materials, which would be $850 to cover a brand new camera. And it's like it's a nice camera that allows you learn very quickly, but it would allow us to live stream most of our events very easily moving forward on YouTube. Our external organization support fund. So a couple of university staff came to me about the needs of their organization, I guess you could say, like Vincent's Vault or Gumbo Garden. So for those two initiatives, we're contributing $2,000 so that they can thrive in terms of service learning and being able to really impact not just Xavier, but our community. The Service Saturday Big Five contribution that we did back in April, we're just putting it in here for records, for record keeping, would be $350. And before I continue, you did approve the emergency budget, but now that we have the final budget, what was in the emergency budget was now put into here for accurate record keeping. So that money that was approved for the emergency budget is in this total cost. The office administrative budget is going to be $22,520 to cover office supplies. Our office hasn't really been used that much before, so we're noticing a lot of needs such as pens, ink, paper, printers. We have no printers. Also print services. So downstairs we do have the document center, and so there is a PO. We can open a purchase order there in order to print there and have posters made at $500. Fitted table covers in runner, $170. Water, just $50, and then an office renovation project of $21,000. This is not just to cover the SGA office, but also the resource room beside us, which needs some help. So within the SGA office, it's lacking in some areas. Now that it's being used by a lot of students, we're seeing there needs to be deep cleaning of the office, scrubbing and scraping, but also a fresh coat of paint, so that it's inviting to the student body. We want it to be that you have pride in your student government association, and also you can find it easier, which includes a repainting as well as more signage. The resource room, which is right beside us, is a big room, and is used for many organizations, and it has been neglected recently, really, by our student leaders. And so SGA will be co-opting the resource room. We will be managing the day-to-day functions of that. We're actually cleaning it out right now, which is about a 2-week project. And then we're looking at putting in new furniture for students. We're looking at repainting the room as well to be bright and inviting as well, and establishing some procedures when it comes to it, especially in COVID, to make sure that we could use that room safely. And then we discussed the stipends at the emergency Senate meeting, and it's the same at $20,100 for the president, vice president, treasurer, secretary, Mr. and Ms. Xavier, chief of staff, deputy chief of staff, XAB president, and senate clerk. And then the president's discretionary fund will sit at $7,169.06, which is below the cap. I think the cap is, I believe it's 5%. Yeah, it's at 5%. No, yeah, and right now it's sitting at 2.5%. So we're way below the cap. All right, and that is the budget. I yield my time.
Thank you, President Yucott. Senators, do y'all have any questions for President Yucott? No? Okay, we're just going to
Okay, so next on the agenda is going to be discussing the African Student Union budget. So can I get a motion to discuss the African Student Union budget?
Senator Whitfield, second that motion.
Okay, so can everybody see the budget, or did everyone get a chance to review the budget? Take a look at it. Yes, ma'am. So do you guys have any questions for the representative about this budget in particular? Is the community service just for the African student or whoever wants to volunteer? Right, they might not be able to hear you from back there. Like y'all can ask for her, and just come up here.
Okay. I have a question about the budget. So someone asked, is the community service listed on there just for the members of the African Student Union? Or is it open to anyone?
The person who submitted it, maybe? Okay. Shinier? Shiniere? Oh, she's not in? Oh, okay. Um, She's not in here at all? Yeah. Maybe we should just like discuss it and then.
Think about it, is that going to be deciding factor whether or not you support that budget? You don't know that, you'd be willing to vote for or not vote for it. If you think you can take a vote without knowing that information, you can call the question and consider that vote. Oh, if that's the deal maker, then yeah, you would want to table it next budget.
Okay. I'm just gonna mute it and then we'll discuss. Okay, so next on the agenda, we have the budget for the class of 2022 budget. Can I get a motion to discuss the class of 22 budget?
Motion to discuss the class 2022 budget.
That's exactly what it is. So like earlier, Malia was telling me at the beginning that they get this amount no matter what, because it's based on the number of students and enrollment, how Emmanuel mentioned earlier. So,
So you've already approved budget.
yeah, so. Right. Okay, so next on the agenda, we have the ACS Chemistry Club budget. Can I get a motion to discuss the ACS Chemistry Club's budget? Okay, so can everybody see, view it? Do you guys have any questions for Jasmine McLeish? If so, you could come up here and ask her about the budget she submitted. No question, so y'all still looking? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and mute it then. Okay, so now that we have everything done, can I get a motion to adjourn this meeting at 7:13 PM? Okay, the meeting is adjourned at 7:13 PM. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Senate meeting.